Hello fellow traders, and welcome here back to an analysis of the currency market. And to be honest, today I'll start a bit of a different place instead of the currencies. As you might have noticed, the stocks are in a bit of a turmoil right now. They are falling quite heavily around the world, and that is of course because of that situation in China, where we have this big real estate company called Evergrande that is in serious trouble. They are owing $305 billion away, and millions of Chinese people have invested in it, and that is really rocking and shocking the financial world right now, in a situation where things were not that stable after all. In a situation like this, we see often some very good opportunities, and people are running towards safe havens. And as you can see here on our spaghetti chart, we can see that we have the Japanese yen. That is this one. Let me just move so you can see the labels here. We have the Japanese yen. That is the red one here, going up heavily. We have the dollar going up here. We have the Swiss franc. That is normally also a safe haven. It has been shut down lately, but it is turning up. And if you're looking at the 4-hour chart, we can also see we have the US dollar, we have the Japanese yen, we have the euro, which is a bit weak, but also on the right side. And then we have the Swiss franc coming up here. Now, what do we have on the losing side? Well, we have the pound. We have the, or we can take it over here, we have the pound, we have the New Zealand dollar, we have the Canadian dollar, and we have the Australian dollar. So there should be some good opportunities today when we're looking at these different setups. Now let's go to my different currency groups, because as you can see here, I have taken, this is in trading view, I can turn all the pairs around, so all of them, for instance, are starting with Australian dollar as the base currency. Then we have dollar, euro, Swiss franc, and so on as the counter currency. And as you can see, the Australian dollar right now, yes, is dropping towards pretty much all of these except the pound. So this actually shows us that Australian dollar is one of the strongest losers today. And if we're looking at the charts, we can see the Aussie dollar here. Now normally, and this is actually the way the pair should or normally is turned, the Aussie dollar. What I would do here, if we're looking at the 4-hour chart, is that even though we are in a good good downtrend, I would not be chasing this. I would simply wait for a retracement back to this area. As we can see, for instance, let's have an example here. We have this area here. Let's just remove this and draw a proper box like this. We have this area here, and as you can see, the Aussie dollar was in a good strong downtrend. Then it turned back here, and right on the resistance area here, we got a very strong bearish engulfing pattern here, this red candle, and the price moved down quickly. It moved back up, but only to the next area here where we got a new rejection. So from this area there was some very good trading opportunities. You could go down to the lower time frame and have a look here at, for instance, the 1-hour time frame. There was some even better trading opportunities here. And that is basically what I'm looking for in most of my trades. So that is some of the things I will be looking at today. I will be looking at some retracements back to resistance areas and then be shot back. It's not certain we'll see it today, but there will be some in the next days here. As you can see, towards the euro, towards the Swiss franc, they are dropping. Then towards the pound, it is going up a bit, not completely strong, but a little bit. We have the Aussie yen also on the 4-hour time frame. With the Aussie yen here, we see some good area here that could be tested during this week, and then might have the potential to be sent back. Remember, I don't trade on these zones before I see a confirmation, so that is how that is. we can see, yes, the Aussie CAD, this is actually a trade I am in, taken out of the daily time frame here, so that is in a nice little profit right now. Actually, most of my trades are going in the right direction right now. Here you can see a trade that I was thinking about taking, but I didn't, because there was some turmoil to be expected over the weekend. But you can see the bottom here, we got a very good rejection candle here, and I could have taken this here. In hindsight, of course, I could have taken this for a very good profit Friday afternoon. But I don't like too much putting on new trades just right up to the weekend, especially when we see a nervous market like this. Now we can see the CAD group here, also mostly in red, but it is strong towards the pound and it is strong towards the Australian dollar. So we can see CAD is not the weakest of the 8, but it is in the weak end. And we can see here, again, we see some good potential to move up towards this area here and then turning back. It is about being a bit patient here. This looks a bit messy. The CAD Swiss here, also a resistance zone, but when things get too messy like I see them here, I simply just stay away. I don't like to be involved in messy markets. I want a good trend and a retracement into some support or resistance. And as you can see here, for instance, the CAD Yen offers some fairly good opportunities here. There might be something around here or here that we might get a retracement into. But then again, it is important to look at the larger time frames, and at the daily time frame here we can see that this area has been a big support many times, so I would not be too comfortable taking a short straight into an area like this. And that is also something you should consider. I also have the weekly time frames. I'm not looking too much at that, but the daily time frames, definitely I would not feel comfortable shorting this one straight into a support area. We have the CAD Aussie here. By the way, I know that normally it would be turned around, so it would be the Aussie CAD, but as you can see here, there might be something to look for here. It just touched up here and we could have taken it short, or that would be a long if it was an Aussie CAD. However, since both CAD and the Aussie are two of the very weak currencies, I would see if I could find some of the other pairs to look at where I might take a short CAD towards some of the stronger currencies. Now, the Swiss franc here, we can see that is one of the safe haven currencies. Even though it has been shot way down here, it is strong today. It is going up today. It is in a downtrend on many of the time frames though. So I don't think I would look for longs in Swiss franc. There might be something coming up, but I think that dollar or the Japanese yen is a bit more obvious here. Let's have a look at the others here. We have the Euro group, and as you can see, the Euro is a bit mixed here. I am short in a number of Euro pairs. As you can see, I have a short Euro dollar, also taking out of the daily time frame here when it broke down. That is in a very good trend right now. I am short the Euro yen, and I am short the Euro CAD, which is not the best of trades. It's one of my losing trades. It's not extremely much in the negative, but let's see if it turns around. Right now, as it seems today, the CAD seems weaker than the Euro, so you might think that a short in Euro CAD might be a bit risky, but it is taking on the longer time frames and a lot can happen there. Then we have the Euro Aussie. Again, that seems bullish, but since the Euro is a bit in the midpoint and Aussie is weak, I would hesitate a bit taking that. Euro New Zealand, Euro Swiss, and Euro Pound. There's not much here that I would jump into right now today. Now, as you can see here, the pound is weak. The only thing it is slightly up towards today is the pound Aussie here. So we can see here, we might find some very good trend. Let's say, for instance, the pound dollar. We might want to look for something around here. That could be an area definitely that we could trade from this week. The pound Swiss here, that might actually on a daily time frame show some good turning potential. We can see here that this area had been resistance a number of times. I was actually in a very good pound Swiss when it dropped here. I was not on the long side here, unfortunately, but this might show us some very good turnaround signals here on the pound Swiss, and I would definitely look at the 4-hour time frames to see if I could get a signal something like this a bit further down here, up towards this area maybe, and then a rejection from that. That would make me take the pound Swiss in a short trade, definitely. What else do we have? We have pretty much the same in many of these, especially it is weak even towards the weak currencies, so there's not much to go for here, on the long side at least. But again, as you can see here, here's a very good example of a trade. I was not in this trade, unfortunately, but as you can see, we have the bottom here, comes up, find some resistance here, and what we actually saw here was a little thing that if we're going to the lower time frame, we can see that it tests here, tests here, tests here, and then the big guys, they come in, shoots it up, and know that when it comes up here, it will trigger a lot of buy orders. But the big guys, they wanted to send it down. They just need someone to sell them, to short against. So when all of these guys came in, they shorted straight against it. And when we see a movement like this, with 2 or 3 tests upwards, a break up, and then a violent breakdown like this is a very good opportunity to short normally. All right. If we go down here, we have the yen group, and as you can see, Japanese yen is definitely something I would be looking for to the long side today. See if I could find some good areas here. You can see here's another good example. This is the yen euro. I know normally you would take the euro yen, so this would be a short instead of a long, but have a look at this very good textbook example. Double top here, comes up, finds resistance, makes a bullish engulfing pattern, and then shoots straight up. It doesn't get more textbook than this. All right. But this is basically strong towards everything, and it is just to have a bit of patience to wait for the good setups to come along. Right now it's just shooting up, and I'm not hunting this in some FOMO, fear of missing out here. What do we have? We have the USD group. That is the last one here, and as you can see, it is basically strong. The only two it is weak against right now today is the Swiss and the yen, so that shows us that dollar is right now you could say the number 3 on the strength list here, with yen and Swiss franc as the 2 best. So again, dollar, it should offer some opportunities. The dollar is also getting lifted up, and that is mainly because that on Wednesday we have the we have the FOMC meeting. The Fed is coming out with their interest rate decisions, and everybody is pretty convinced that they will keep the interest at a 0 point right now, and that is fair enough. The thing is that they are going to tell a bit about their plans for the future, and of course people are mainly listening for some signals as to how quickly they'll start their tapering and how much. My guess is that they will start their tapering with maybe something like $10 billion. Right now they are buying up debt, they're buying up bonds at a rate of $120 billion per month. That is $80 billion in treasuries and $40 billion in the mortgage-backed securities, the MBSs. And I guess that they will start to taper with 10, maybe $15 billion per month from around November. That is my guess. It is simply just it is impossible to predict completely. But when they start to signal that, and that is expected, they'll do that on Wednesday, we will see at least an upwards pressure in the US dollar, or that's what we're seeing right now. Of course, if they're saying we'll wait till the spring sometimes with the tapering, that will send the dollar south. Definitely, if they are going for an earlier tapering with maybe 15 or 20 billion dollars per month in the tapering, so they'll get out of the purchase program of bonds earlier, then that will definitely shoot the dollar straight up north. So look out for that. Be careful about being in at least the shorter term positions. If you're in a position taking out of a daily or weekly chart, it might not matter too much, but expect some huge volatility on Wednesday when it comes to at least the dollar. All right, I hope this made sense and gave you a bit of inspiration as to what to look for in the coming days here. And take care of yourself and your money out there, and happy trading. Bye for now.